What's up guys, my name is Josh, and this series, and I don't even know what episode we're on of new stuff, but basically I just talk about the stuff that's coming in the channel for review that I want you guys to know about, so you can either subscribe if you're interested in seeing that in the future, and if you're already interested, kind of what's coming to the channel in the near future. And I don't have too many, but I have a few kind of big kind of ticket items today, and things that are going to be above most people's price range. I do understand that, and I am trying to do some lower end gear as well. And these are things that I think will not only help the channel, but things that I'm personally very, very excited for. And I'm hoping that some of you are excited for them as well. Now let's go ahead and start off with the first one being the EL-8 closed backs. Now these are the closed back version of the EL-8s, obviously, just said that. I did already review the EL-8 open backs, which I actually gave those a pretty good review. I do know that a lot of people prefer these ones over those. They're pretty comfortable, fairly heavy, very solid build quality. I do want to mention something. If you don't know, if you didn't catch I kind of made like a life vlog, the first one, kind of testing it out. It might be something I continue to do. We'll see how well that one does. My truck, somebody cut the fuel neck in my truck, and it was like a $500 repair for the part and labor and all that stuff. So I unfortunately had to sell my EL-8 opens. So there won't be a comparison video between this and the open, but in the review of the EL-8 closed, I did hear them back to back, but I only had them both at the same time for a day. So it wasn't something that I was able to get really in depth in. So I will mention some of the comparisons in the full review of this, but there's not going to be a designated comparison, unfortunately. And for full transparency, part of the reason why I'm telling you this is I don't really feel that I can bring a justified, legitimate, and truthful review comparison video to you without actually hearing them back to back throughout all the testing that I standardly do for all of my headphones. These EL-8s were actually sent to me by Metal571, so thank you very much for sending these out. Of course, I'll give you another shout out in the actual review itself. Should be very interested. I'm excited for them. I've heard them. They sound pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. All right, and then the next item is actually not a headphone. A very courteous gentleman, and I will give you the shout out that I said I would give you in the actual review of these, but he straight up just gave me Kef Q100s. He just gave them to me. Very, very generous. I will talk a little bit about these in a second and kind of my first impressions, because I've actually had them for a little bit now, I think about a week. I want to say that throughout my time doing this video stuff, there's of course going to be like the assholes in the comment section, but everyone who I've genuinely like sat down, maybe not in person, but like, you know, on like some sort of dialogue base, where I've actually sat down, gotten to know the person, or if they want to send something in, or the people who I have actually sat down with and talked to, everyone is so nice. Like, even if you don't send stuff, even if you don't have money to support on Patreon, genuinely, the people in this hobby are by far some of the nicest people that I've ever met in my life. And the fact that a random person, whether they have money or they don't, would send a pair of speakers, instead of selling them, they would just send them to somebody who they think, you know, could use them. That's just incredibly generous. To the guy who sent this, I'll give you a much greater shout out in the actual review of this, trust me. I just want to say thanks. It's really cool of you. All right, my first impressions of the Q100s, I haven't used them on a desk yet. I basically just hooked them up to like the front room home theater type of area, and these have like a very specific purpose and something that they're very good at. I personally do think that a subwoofer would mix nicely. I can't have a subwoofer because I live in an apartment, but if I had to like my own designated like listening room or home theater, I would recommend a sub for these. But vocals, especially for movies, when you're not talking about music, you're actually talking about like dialogue, is just incredible. These are very, very clear. And I also have the 30X review that's coming soon. I haven't quite sat down and done the review of that, so to the gentleman who sent me that, you know, that is coming up. Sorry, I've been waiting so long on that one. But I like to take my time with speakers, because I feel like there's not necessarily more to unpack than headphones, but they do sound in different ways, and I look for different things. So I'm a little bit slower on the speaker end. All right, next headphone that I was really excited for was the mr.speakers Aeon opens. These are very, very comfortable. I like the shape of them. I like the feel of them. I like the lightweight kind of style and kind of the weird ear shape that they have going on. I think that they're a very neat looking headphone. Very unique design. I haven't seen anything that really kind of looks like this around, and the kind of uniqueness of this is something that I really appreciate. I'm not gonna give first impressions of this yet. I do know that the guy who sent these to me is actually selling them. I should have a link to where he's selling them from. I think he's gonna use Headfly, but I'm not 100% sure. I should have a link by the time the full review comes out. So if you're not already subscribed and you kind of want to see what these are gonna sell for, if you're interested, hit that subscribe button so you can stay tuned for this. And then a headphone, well, really a type of headphone that I waited to listen to for a very long time. And this is my very first experience with anything like this. So it's been a lot of fun to unpack it and listen to it over the last couple days that I've had it. I should have it for about two and a half more weeks. And then I'll put the full review out pretty much at the end of when I can listen to it. And those are in this giant Pelican case here. And those headphones are STAX, specifically the EL-8 Limited. Now these are very strange as STAX come, but these are particularly strange for STAX. So far, first thoughts are that these are, they're strange, incredibly detailed. Probably, I'm not gonna say probably, these are the most detailed thing that I have heard to date. In a different way though, and I'll describe the sound. I actually plan on making a longer style review for these because I feel like the people who are really interested are going to appreciate a longer style review, and people who are looking at this are going to be definitely more hardcore audiophiles, not just passerbys or people who are just interested in headphones. These are going to be for people who are specifically into what we're talking about. So I'm going to do a more, let's call it a comprehensive review. So I'm going to take my sweet time listening to these, and I'll let you know kind of what I find. They are odd. They don't necessarily sound like headphones like they do, but they don't at the same time. I'll have a much more thorough explanation, I promise, and I'll actually get my words together about how I feel about these. All right, guys, I think that's gonna wrap everything up. If you're particularly interested or excited about something, let me know, and maybe I'll get back to you and we can talk about it a little bit before it comes out. Support on Patreon if you like what I do and you want to support the channel. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.